What about the connections? I think for me, one of the distrusting things about this is how deep the connections may or may not be going with Hunter Biden's connection with Ukraine and the money he was setting aside for his dad and that connection. How much of that plays into this in terms of how can we trust that Ukraine is a side to be on? I mean, any innocent people involved in Russia or Ukraine are the real losers in all of this. But
Yeah.
as far as the Ukrainian government goes, knowing how those connections to our administration would run deep, how do we ascertain whether or not there's just a simple bias because it's in the best interest of the political elite to
Yeah.
support the
I'm
Ukraine
not saying
versus
that, whatever that's in this guy laptop or whatever it's in his life, whatever he has done is not true. He has whatever it is happen, it happened. But I feel the timing of this information coming out to the public is actually part of distracting. So I feel like whatever issue that's popping up right now, whether it's about Hunter Biden, whatever it's about anybody else, whether it's about gas prices, it's all distraction from the real thing that's going on. And I can guarantee you that the U.S. government is well aware of these tactics. The U.S. government is actually not worried so much about what people think anymore. They're more worried about the bigger problem. Um, and a lot of people were angry because influencers were in this country were influencing every decision the government, and that's the point of the Russian intelligence, is to get the American people to influence every decision the government has to make. It means the government is not comfortable enough to make a decision. There's so much problems popping out, media issues coming up. So the whole pressure our government is having right now, it's from its people, from our people, from the American government. And because we're so all over the place, we're so divided. Um, and it kind of shocks me that people are willing to stand, not knowing, willing to stand with Russia over their country because they hate their political rival. But when you go back to the real reason why people hate their political rivals so much, I'm not saying that this is only in conservative side, because Russia has invested millions of dollars to keep people divided. And that means because there are influencers in the conservative side that are doing this, there are also influencers in the other side of the aisle that are doing exactly the same thing. And this becomes a fireball that's going to be kicked back and forth, and is going to keep a wall in between people. And it's actually preventing Americans from thinking outside of the box, which is a very simple thing that any human being should be able to do.